Hi guys, thanks very much for having me tonight. Like you said, my name's Craig, and I own and operate a small furniture company called Union Wood Company. We mostly focus on furniture for commercial and residential places, and we focus a lot of the work we do around reclaimed wood. Myself and my team of 6 work together, and we design and build and deliver all the stuff in-house. Of course, aside from emails and everything else that happens in regards to running a business, most of my day revolves around wood. And I'm here tonight to talk to you guys about what the wood in BC means to me and to my business. I think all of us can relate, in some way, shape, or form with wood and time together. Take, for example, when you're a child, you learn at an early age to count the rings, and each ring is a year. And that's always been something that's kind of stuck with me. I moved to Vancouver with my family probably about 25 rings ago. We settled on the North Shore forests, some of the most beautiful forests that we have in the province. And I think that's where my love of wood kind of began, and that's when I was really exposed to forests. I took a little bit of a different path than the rest of my peers on the North Shore. They had some different agendas and aspirations. I really wanted to get my hands dirty. That was something that was always important to me. So I became a garbage man. And that's not something that I wanted to do, but that's the way the cookie crumbled, all right? In the summer of 2008, I got a job with the city of Vancouver, and I picked up all forms of trash from Dunbar to Boundary, and enjoyed my time doing it. Of course, that job has pros and cons, the cons being picking up trash. But the pros of it are that you get to tour this beautiful city that we have. All the different neighborhoods, the kind of urban vineyards off Renfrew and the colorful alleys in Chinatown. All of it was kind of new and fresh to me. The other thing that I saw being garbage man was the kind of, the forgotten parts of the city, the alleyways, the more utilitarian side of the city. So what I saw there was a lot of excess waste, and kind of garbage that our society just gets rid of. What I also saw in those alleys, though, was I saw the beauty and the character and the history of the city of Vancouver and all of British Columbia as kind of a lumber town and a lumber province, obviously. And I really started to kind of fall in love with that stuff. I was fortunate enough to get posted on a truck with a guy that's called the Iceman, and nobody would know him but me, basically. But he worked in the city of Vancouver for 40 years as a garbage man, and he knew every building inside and out. And I learned a lot from this guy. This is what is now the Corrette Lofts. This is 1920. It was a hardware store. So what I do at Union Wood Company is we take some of that history and we take some of that material that's left over and we turn that into products. And I think the heart of it is really we take the story of the old material and we give it a new story. People use our products for all kinds of different things, but my favorite part of it and what I love about it is that people use these things. They have dining tables and they put drinks on them, and the kids do homework at them and they eat dinner at them and all kinds of stuff. Most of our material comes from buildings just like this. This is the same building we just looked at a couple of slides ago. This is the Corrette Lofts in, I think, 2013. So this has now been transformed, was once a hardware store, is now a kind of really expensive loft building. So we take the lumber that's from buildings like that and we turn it into all kinds of different products. This one sticks out for me in a important way because it was the wood that came from here that I made my first product from. I really became known as a bit of like a cheese board guy. We made cheese boards. I think I've probably made over 10,000 cheese boards, and they're shipped all across the continent. Reclaimed wood has become so popular in the last few years that people have started to fake it. And instead of faking reclaimed wood, we kind of broadened our horizons and started to source it from other places. So some of the fun things about that is being able to source some wood from Kentucky. This is from the side of a barn in Kentucky. We were blessed to get some of this white oak, and it's very few and far between that us furniture makers, if we want to use a recycled product, get to use something like oak, because it just doesn't exist in BC. Not only did we kind of broaden our horizons geographically, but we also broadened them a little bit with some other materials. This bed, for example, is made out of recycled army tents. So all the footboard and the headboard is made out of old army tents from the U.S. military, and the wood is all recycled. The steel is all recycled. In the end, though, I was raised a Vancouver boy, and I think wood will forever be the most important material to me, as I think it is to a lot of people in here tonight. And I think this image, is a great image of Vancouver. That's the hollow tree in Stanley Park that I think everybody knows about. And at the end of the day, I think the most rewarding thing about my job and what I do is that we get to connect the customers with the stories of the past. So this is actually at King Ed and about Canby in the about 1916 treehouse. Pretty cool. And the driving force for me and my business is telling these stories of the history of Vancouver and transforming that into new products for people. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks very much for having me.